Hello, everyone. I am um, streaming this from my front yard, from my phone. So there's no slide that says, hey, it's full moon. Wait a few minutes for people to arrive. Um, so you just get me. And so I'm just going to give it a few minutes to allow folks to arrive. And as as they do, I'm going to sit here in my front yard. And as the day starts to move into twilight, and I invite you to breathe and ground with me as you arrive. And then we'll get started with the full moon. You can see I'm moving around. We'll get started with our full moon meditation in just a couple moments, just a couple minutes. You might hear the breeze. You might hear the neighborhood crows. I think there might be some children playing in the yard next door or down the street, so you might hear some of that. Just the sounds of being alive, being alive around other people, being alive in the greater world. All right, so I'm just going to officially say welcome to Connect DC's full moon meditation. It is June 2023, and my name is Angela Raincatcher. I'm the convener for Connect DC, and it is my privilege to be able to come into your computers once a month to basically share with you practices for realigning ourselves to the ebb and flow of time and the ebb and flow of the months and the moons, and to reconnect with the world around us, to reconnect with the plants and the animals and the wind, hopefully not the rain until later this evening, and just sit down on the ground. And if it were darker, we could look up and see the moon. But she is there. We know she is there. It's a little bit cloudy, and it is about an hour before sunset, which is when we would actually get to see the moon rise. So we're in a bit of a liminal time, the time in between the full day and night. It's a time where we can really kind of feel the changes of what's happening, and we can take some time to breathe in and breathe out, And I'm just enjoying the breeze. I don't know if you can see it in the trees behind you. You can probably hear it. The wind, it's blowing through. It feels like there's going to be rain. The forecast doesn't say rain, but God, it really feels like there's going to be rain, and I really hope so. This is my favorite weather, where the wind is blowing in and it just feels like there's going to be some rain. And it's warm enough to be outside, but it's not too hot, and it's definitely not too cold. And this is the full moon, closest to the summer solstice up here in the northern hemisphere. And the month or the moons on either side of the summer solstice in Old English were called the litha moons. And, I may be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. But my understanding is that litha means gentle or calm. And I tend to think of the moon and the lunar energy as more calming than, say, solar energy. And that's probably because, of my heritage. I burn in the sun really easily. If it was the middle of the day, I would not be wearing this or being outside. But this is a time of day and a time of the year where I can sit outside comfortably. I could sit outside in the winter, but not comfortably. I could sit outside in August, but not comfortably. So I can be outside and be comfortable. And because I'm comfortable, I'm able to really sink down into my body. And I'm just positioning what Katrina Messenger calls blossoming our butt so that our sit bones are really like firmly, solidly connected with the ground beneath us. And I invite you to just do some breathing with me. If you can be in a space that's comfortable to you, if you're watching this now, and you can find a place that's comfortable, or if you're watching this later, go outside and find a place where you can just be, where you can just sit. And I'm going to be quiet here for a little bit, but I invite you to breathe with me, and I invite you to open up your senses to the world around you. Open your ears, open up the feeling of your skin to what's moving around you. Breathing in the smell. Let's just take a few moments to really open up and breathe and connect to the place that we're at. What I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine that all of the places on my body that are in connection with the earth, so my rear end, backs of my legs, my heels, I'm just going to bring my attention to those places and feel the ground under me. And as I breathe, and as you breathe, I invite you to imagine that those places are actually a little bit permeable. And that as you breathe, some of your energy starts to seep through your skin and into the ground beneath you. And the energy of the earth beneath you, all of that life starts to permeate and diffuse up into your body. And so I begin to feel that instead of a hard physical boundary between myself and the earth, that it becomes a little bit hazy, a little diffuse. And as I breathe and my energy and the earth's energy flows and blends together, I actually start to become one with the earth under me. And as you breathe, just soften. Allow the boundaries between you and the earth to soften. And now feel along the inside of the rest of your body. Like for me, I'm really aware of my arms because they're bare to the elements, my chest here. So what I'm going to do is as I breathe, and I invite you to do the same, allow the boundaries between you and the air. Allow the boundaries between you and the air just to soften just a bit. Just as much as you feel comfortable with. I know you may be in a situation where you're like, Angela, I can't do that. But if you can just do it a little bit, as much as you feel safe doing so. Just allow your body to really feel the air around it. You might notice a change in the quality of the earth and the air around you. You may notice a stillness. You may notice your senses able to pick up sounds and sensations and patterns that you hadn't noticed before. As you settle in and become still, you might notice animals, birds in the trees, or there might be some insects making noise in the bushes and shrubs around you. I'm hearing at least 3 different birds in my yard right now. I don't know what they are. I don't recognize the sounds, but I'm hearing 3 different patterns. And as I sink into stillness and breathe, and I invite you to do this with me, just breathe in through your nose if you can, and see if you can take in or distinguish a scent. It might just be the scent of ozone or the pollen in the air. There may be some plants blooming nearby. Or there might be some smells that are not so good. Just, what's going on in your environment as you sink further into the earth. Mm. Mm. Now I want to invite you, as we're in this place of stillness, of this place of just being open and receptive to the world around us. I want to invite you to, from your heart, and it can be out loud or silently, but from your heart, call to those spirits that you work with most closely, the ones that you know have your back, the ones that support you, the ones that are wanting you to be fully supported and alive. Those could be, uh, different animal spirits or plant spirits. They could be ancestors, whether those are ancestors of your blood or ancestors of spirit. It could just be the spirits of the land. Like if you have a spirit, a place that you find particularly sacred, they could be gods or goddesses, angels, devas, orisha, loa, devis, whatever names you use to call them, however you know them, spirit guides. But from your heart, just invite them to surround you, to make themselves known to you. You can say, I am here. I am present and still. They call to you. Many of these spirits are with us all the time anyway, so it's not like they've got far to go. You're really just opening yourself up to an awareness of them. And you might want to ask them to help you out, to protect you, to give you support, to help you with a particular thing that you're working on. You know, like if you struggle with depression, you may want to ask them to help to lift you up. If you struggle with isolation and loneliness, you may want to ask them to wrap their arms around you, to be close to you so that you can feel them and not feel alone. You know, if you're grieving, you may want to ask them to be with you, to put their hands on your heart or between your shoulder blades, just to let you know that they are there with you. If you find yourself in despair, you may want to call on them and say, please, just lift me up. Just help me keep my head above water. Lift my heart. Fill me with love. If you need strength, strength to do your work, strength to do their work, you can always ask them to give you strength, to give you some support. If you have a question, or perhaps you're faced with a decision, they're not going to tell you what to do. Well, some of them might. Mm. Um, but you might want to ask them to give you clarity, to help you see a little bit farther down the road than than you might usually. I think clarity of mind in that case is good. If you're in a situation where you're in danger and you need to get out, you can call upon them to help protect you in that situation, and ask them to help you find a way to safely get out of that situation and to get into a place where you are safe and cared for. And one of the things that I've learned about the gods is, sometimes I can feel them. I don't see them, but I feel them. And that's enough. And sometimes they put somebody in your path that can help you when you are like at your wit's end and you're like, I need some clarity. I need help. And somebody will show up. Or you'll be someplace, you'll be drawn to go someplace, and you'll see something. Maybe you'll see an artwork, or you'll see an advertisement, or you'll meet somebody, and it just like makes no rational sense, but that was the answer. That was the help you needed. I wish that I could go boop, boop, and you would feel them all around you right now. Because I know from my experience that even when we feel alone, mm, God, they are there. And that's a tough place to be. That's a tough place to be. But know that they love you. And if this makes a difference, if you know me, and even if you don't know me, but know that I love you. Um, I love you. If I don't know you, I maybe love you more abstractly. um, and it's not love in the same way that humans love. But if you bring your attention back to where your body meets the earth, and if you can feel that energy just under the surface, that is pure life. That is vitality. That is life. That is the love of the planet. That is the love of the earth. Is life. So just take a moment to feel that, and feel that life as love. Every place that it touches you. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Breathe in that life. Breathe in that love. And for as long as you can this evening, if you've got the time to relax and to just be, I really invite you to just do that. Litha, gentleness. Let the gentleness of the moon hold you. Let it hold you. And rest. And know that you are loved. And with that, I'm going to wish you a blessed evening and a blessed month until we see each other again. Go with the gods. Peace.